My name is Himanish Goel, and I welcome you all to the Everyday Consultants podcast show, where we talk about the uncertain trajectory it takes for stepping into the shoes of a consultant's mind, from adapting to constantly learn through research and develop their own theories, objectives, and opinions for advising businesses, from their area of expertise to communicate the fine line between an SME and polymath. Thanks for taking the time to join me, and let's tune into today's episode of learning more about being in consulting that requires a lot of breathing to stay on its progression chart of keeping up with the expectations itself. So for today's topic, I wanted to dive deep into how when you go into consulting, there's a lot of pieces that are moving with each other. Whether it's project work, whether it's extra work, like plus ones you can do on the side, or any sort of volunteering to promote that over-the-top mission. Because it's like 1 year of experience that you get over there is equivalent to pretty much 7. Because you're doing so much that when you will go in a regular working company that is not consulting related, there's only so much you need to do. There's not like the over-the-top type of work assignments. So you need to sort of find tools that will help you get back when you have days that are fuzzy, because we all have that. When you're like, oh my God, I cannot focus, I'm not able to figure it out, and we have so many assignments. There are days where there's not that many assignments left to do, and we're able to finish it just from the workload, and there are days where there's a lot, and we're like, we're never going to be able to finish this. How are we going to finish this? Just keeping that Zen warrior in you, that, okay, let's take it at a step-by-step approach, and we're going to get there one step at a time, is what's really going to push you to the mark of like completion. So if I were you, I would just find ways, if you're wanting to get into the consulting industry or not, to first be yourself and find ways that will help you come back to that routine of performing the way you would expect to see it. Because sometimes folks, they work really hard the first 2, 3, 4 years, and then that overburning cycle starts, and they kind of try to find, what's the word I'm looking for? Alternatives to kind of get it done from someone else. Not kind of like push that their working method and habits that work for them as hard as they're supposed to, because they haven't found a way to kind of come back in a calm state of mind to go and solve the problem. Because sometimes taking a walk can solve a lot more problems than sitting there and pulling the hair out of your head. So you are the only decider that figures out the fate of how you want to take things forward. And it's a simple approach. It's like it's like a message that the universe is trying to send to us, but we don't constantly see it. And it's like, it comes in high school, comes in college, when you get married, when you have kids, when you get a full-time job position. I should have said that before, but all the time it gives those messages and we don't see it at all. And it might even give several messages within one period. So what I've noticed to be a good stress reliever is anything that has to do with well-being, wellness, health, and fitness is sort of some of the things, like 70% of the things that have sort of helped people come back to what they're supposed to do, and that all sort of faster pace. If you choose to do that, that's great. If you're motivated to do that, that's great. I know there's a lot of initiative that needs to come from you to get up and go to a gym, or get up and walk in the morning, to get up and focus in your meditation or doing a yoga routine or whatever. But if you can just find a purpose to why this is helping you for what reason, it will make your life way much easier to feel like you're not dragging a bag or weight alongside you while you walk every day in office, every day when doing your office assignments. Because that is not consulting trying to make you feel. It is trying to help you gain experiences from several outlets so that when you go to your next mission, meaning another next position or company, you can go there with a fresh outlet to take the experience you've had at that consulting company and help put it to implementation in that fintech industry, insurance industry, banking industry, kind of the same thing as fintech, but a little bit different, or whatever, media, or whatever it might be. So that's first game of approach that you might want to consider thinking about if you are not as active or looking to be active. Folks that are not looking to sweat so hard, walking is the best tool that can make you live many lives ahead. It's just getting yourself to move so you can get those brain muscles to work. But if none of those work, there are other alternatives like video games or talking to a friend or anything, or any other sort of mediums that are promoted from society. But the main context, which is the second part, is what gets your energy levels from like the red battery level status that we see on our iPhones or Androids to green. Because if it's not green, then, when you have to come back with that mindset, it becomes much more harder to come and deliver. Then you're looking for someone to help you get it done. But you yourself, who understands the assignment, is the only one that can get it done much faster than anyone else. So that is one thing that will help you reach high successes with promotions and bonuses, but also not burn yourself and look at the industry as like a nightmare. Because you're going to be working in this area for a much longer time than you would be as a student going through school and college combined, or even if you want to put in a master's degree. Because I barely see folks who are doing PhDs go fully and just focus on that. If you want, you can add that as well. But either way, your working time period is always going to be longer than your student time period. So that's something you just want to sort of be cognizant about as well. And I think to summarize the overarching kind of context over here, in a summary version, is that you will only know what works for you if you apply it in the same way. But evolution and other ways of trying things that might advance your growth is always a better option, because that is what every consulting company is looking for. Every mission you look at, I can't speak about it because it's their missions, but wherever you read about it, whether it's from Accenture, EY, KPMG, Deloitte, PwC, any local ones like Enrichments like Single Sun or CGI or whatever it might be, they all are promoting things of well-being in their mission statements, and also something of like greater change. And if you can improve yourself holistically as a person and also put those implementations in professional-wise, it'll make you a much better leader and get you to doing bigger things to get yourself on the bigger billboards, essentially talking, which is something we all want. And the same thing goes for when we're looking for a manager to come on our project. So keep yourself in that sense of context from whatever we've talked about, that great leaders are not born. Great leaders take evolution and change and growth and combine them in a salad and eat it all up in a slow manner so they can get the full benefits out of it. And from this metaphor, kind of pick and choose what I've sort of said and analyze it so you can kind of rewire how your life might actually be going and try actually finding another path that might make it work better. And I'm not stopping you from whatever you're doing, but just know that folks that stay longer, consulting companies, a lot of them have something to do with health. And that also goes with any other industry, because it keeps you at the center of who you are. It keeps you living longer, thinking sharper, thinking wiser. And meditation is just a double effector of doing even more than that. So hopefully you found this episode helpful. And if you know of someone that's in need or someone that's looking to go in the consulting route, be sure to share this episode with them, because I feel like it'll definitely help them get a good context on all the episodes that we talk about in quick, easy tips type of format. Till then, keep striving, keep growing, keep putting that consultant's hat on. And till next time, stay tuned for my next episode of Everyday Consultants. I can't wait to share with you the next topic that I have coming ahead. See ya. Please be sure to subscribe to the podcast and also leave a review of how much you enjoyed listening to Everyday Consultants. While you're at it, be sure to provide any feedback you might have on my LinkedIn posts in the comments below. And if you know of a friend who's curious about learning quick bites of information regarding the life of a consultant, then be sure to recommend my show to them or anyone that you think might benefit from listening to it. If you want to connect with me, you can find me on LinkedIn, Reddit, and Twitter by searching my name on the platform. If you're interested in looking at some of my other professional content that is currently in the works, then in that case, you can take a look at my Linktree portfolio that can be found below in the description or show notes of this episode. Don't forget to tune in to listening to all episodes of Everyday Consultants and wherever you're able to find your local podcast. Until next time, stay broad, be curious, and be passionate about listening to a conversation where knowledgeable advice gets provided about the world of consulting, about a consultant in our next episode. Peace out.